Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about the buy limit and sell limit commands. Again, I just want to give you a generalization of how this program works. It's based on certain parameters that are being met in order to process orders or being filled or things of that nature. But let's kind of cover the website point of view in this command, and it's kind of the same idea of the stop order. To give you a better idea is to make sure that you enable this limit order functionality, set it as true in the properties, and I'll show you how to do that. But the buy limit and the sell limit is a limit order instead of a stop order, and so the methodology behind this type of trading is looking for bounces and being hit at a certain price action, meaning that you see the market dip down and then touching an order as a buy limit to continue the upward swing. So let me give you an example here. Right here we have this trend line here. This would be an example of the buy limit order command. Okay, just me having that be in place may not actually execute the actual order. Again, I want to make sure on the property section, which I do is right click on the smiley face, go to expert advisors, and then go to properties, and make sure that the actual limit orders right here are set as true. Okay, and once it's set as true, and make sure it's on the right time frame as authenticated, it'll actually place a limit order. Okay, meaning that the market price has to be above the limit order. That means I'm expecting this market to come back down, touch this line, and then not engulfing, just a touch, touching the limit order to be filled. Of course, I'm going to be including the spread and then continue the upward swing. So this would be a perfect example of a limit situation. Okay. On the sell limit order scenario is that I fill that this market on the pound dollar here. Let's say that I see that there is a high and a lower high, and I'm basing it on the 1 hour time frame. But I feel that the market may come up and touch this area, have a stop loss above here, and my expectation is that it may trade downwards. Okay, I can do the same thing with the sell limit order. Okay, and the sell limit order, again, I want to make sure I type it in right, and also I need to change enable the property section to set this limit order. If I'm going to use this specific command, I want to enable limit orders right here as true. And then once that is displayed, then of course this limit order is being shown or broadcasted, as well as on the left hand side it will display the command. Again, just kind of the simple mentality is make sure everything's connected, make sure you download it, the program correctly, as well as using the command correctly as well. Test it to fully have a better knowledge of implementing the actual command. You can refer to the manual, so if you want to go to the manual, you can get really specific with the commands. The distance, again, we can be specifying, how close the line away, or using this command. If we want to use a 10, we can use it as a manual order. Again, the limit order is based on again the price being in the continue move, that it will pull back and then continue the swing. So let's look at the chart again after we look at this manual here, so I can kind of just explain that concept to you again, so you have a better clarification of how this limit order works. Again, a buy limit, the 10 as being the distance, and again, there's a default setting of 5, and some people like 10, some people have a different trading style or different parameters that they want met in their trading methodology. And again, just realize if you're a scalper that you must include the spread, that there may be chances of feeds being slipped due to news or some other internet type of related scenarios. Okay, but again, if this is the type of methodology you like to trade, do test it first before you implement it. Okay, so let's look at the market again. And looking at the market, looking at this market condition, what we see is this market is below the line. I have a sell limit. That's what I'm looking for, is the market to come up, touch this limit order, and then continue swinging downwards. Now if I decide to use certain numbers, say 20, okay, and if I want to readjust this line, that's going to be 20, that means that it's going to push that 20 mark above. It's going to push it back more, so that the market has to come up more towards this line, touching it, and then continue the downward swing. Now we can use trend lines, we can use horizontal lines, we can use different lines in using this limit order. If you decide to not use the limit order and delete it, just make sure that you refresh your screen, you take the order off. If you may have to do a cleanup to get and know that in order for the order to be modified, it must tick. That means that the market must move, and deleting the actual order. So again, what I want you to do is, if that's kind of the methodology you like to use in your trading, some people love the actual limit orders for certain type of trading, meaning if you like bounce trades, or if you know that market conditions that move very quickly. For instance, right here, this is the information that was displayed for us, that we had a quick move up and we had a quick rejection. This would have been a perfect example of that sell limit command when the market was down here, and forming that the market came up, made another approach, getting filled as a small, as you can see, we have a pretty small stop loss, and moved downwards pretty nicely back to its previous low. So these limit orders, what you could look for is market conditions that the market moves very quickly in one direction and gets rejected, and the next time it goes to that certain area, look for that same type of pattern. Okay, we could probably see that with the Swiss franc. Pretty similar is here. This limit order may have been bigger because it's based on a 4-hour standpoint. We saw the market come up very quickly and get rejected. Here it definitely got filled. Maybe we had a bigger stop loss, but we would have got filled and traded downwards. Same thing on the bottom hand side. We saw the market came down very quickly, got rejected, and so we could have the same mentality that this market may just bounce off this area, which it did. Okay, having a limit order, or this would have been that sell limit command, or buy limit, excuse me, because what we're looking for is the market to come back down, touch the limit order, and then continue moving upwards. Okay, so the type of trade methodology is looking for major support and resistance, and market conditions where the market does move very quickly in one direction, reversing it in the other. And again, it could be a trend lines as well. It doesn't have to be horizontal. It could be something like this, where the limit order was being filled right here. Okay, and also the actual reversal commands is more based on the close of the candle instead of the touch, and being a limit order. So those are some things that some people may like. Some people like the close because it's more of a confirmation for them. Limit orders that can be more for less drawdown. So it depends on what kind of trader you are, and using those. So again, just get good at one or two. One of them first. Once you get good at it, then you can move on to the next one. But it's better to get specialized on one, get so good at it that maybe that becomes the command that you specifically like to implement in your trading methodology. So hopefully you're able to benefit from that type of command.